Knowledge is a really important layer when it comes to hypnobirthing. So on a hypnobirthing course, you gain knowledge all about your mind-body connection, about how your brain works and also how your body works. Let's take a look at the uterus and how that functions. So if you can imagine that your uterus is made up of layers. So we have a layer that goes up the back and over the top of your baby, and we also have a layer that surrounds your baby. When your body is surging or contracting, the outer layer that goes up the back and over the top of your baby is flexing and drawing up those inner circular muscle layers. And what's also happening at the same time is your cervix is opening and dilating, allowing baby to move down towards its exit. But when we bring in those emotions, those fearful emotions that we were talking about way back in video 1 and 2, that can really change how your uterus functions. So if you can get your right hand and clench your right hand really, really tight. When you think you've clenched it really tight, clench it even tighter. Keep going and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now, once you've got it as tight as you possibly can, try moving your fingers. And you'll find that it's quite tricky to do it. In fact, it might even feel very, very uncomfortable. You might feel some tension down your arm as well, so that tension you've created in your hand is being passed to other areas of your body. Now, let that go and shake your hand out. Now get your other hand, your left hand, and just allow your fingers to go really limp. And now move your fingers on your left hand. They can move much, much easier. It doesn't hurt, your arm isn't tired. Now let your hand go. So that's the difference between your uterus being relaxed and your uterus being tense. If we're feeling really fearful about birth, then our brain is going to activate the fight or flight function. And that's going to make our bodies tense up and prepare to either fight or to run. And as we've said before, you can't do that in birth. So all the oxygenated blood is sent away from your uterus to your arms and to your legs to prime you for that fight or flight response. And that leaves your uterus without the oxygenated blood that it really, really needs. So those muscles within the uterus that I described become very, very tense, and it becomes much more challenging to move that inner circular layer, which is causing the pain and the discomfort that so many women experience. But if we can change our feelings about birth to a much more positive frame of mind, feel confident, feel relaxed, feel prepared, then our uterus is going to respond in the way that it's designed to. Those muscles are going to be as relaxed as they possibly can, and they're going to move as they're designed to. Support is a really important part of preparing for birth. So considering who it is that is going to support you, who is going to advocate for you, who is basically going to hold the space and care for you throughout your labour. So you might have an idea right now about who that person is. Usually it's the primary birth partner is your life partner or your baby's other parent. And that's great. That usually is the best way to create loads of oxytocin in your body, is by having that person who is really close to you, who makes you feel safe and makes you feel calm and makes you feel loved. Having that person there with you during labour is really, really powerful. There may be other people in your life who want to be part of the birth experience as well. So when deciding who it is that you're going to bring into that room, please just remember that unless you're comfortable going to the toilet in front of them, you shouldn't even be considering having them in the room. And the more people that we actually have in our birthing room, that can actually make the labour longer than it needs to be, because during labour we want to avoid feeling inhibited or observed, because that does actually impact the release of the hormones that we need during labour. So make sure whoever you choose to come into the birthing environment with you is somebody that you feel completely comfortable with, that you trust and that you really love being around. The birth partner should also be familiar with hypnobirthing and be able to support you with your breathing techniques, support you with your affirmations, maybe put those affirmations up around the room or remind you of some of your favourite affirmations. And perhaps that person is the person that you talked through your visualization for birth with as well. So your birth partner does play an integral role in preparing for birth and also supporting you through your birth experience as well.